watching. I'm gonna try this again, maybe. Well, not. It figures this is what happens when we procrastinate. And by we, I mean me.
Tiffany's cranky.
I'm not cranky.
Yes, yes.
I might be a little bit now because this isn't working, but haha, he just asked to join. Let's see if it works. Add.
Niagara Falls goes in and out.
Don't be cranky. I told you I was going to figure things out.
I'm
Man,
trying
Facebook
not
being a
to
real
be.
pain in the ass, wasn't it?
Oh my gosh, that was horrible.
Yeah, I've never had issues with it like that.
That was so silly. I don't understand.
I told you I was going to come in with a bang.
Yeah, you did. I'm going to give the phone to Kevin for a minute because I'm driving trying to find better signal because I think that was our problem.
Oh, you're all good. I switched from the phone or from the whole computer and office setup to my phone so I could try to find better signal myself.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad we finally got it to work.
Yeah. Just a little late, but a little late's better than never.
Hey, I mean, half an hour is pretty good for my time. I'm always late.
There's that fishing pier up there too.
And most people don't show up until
Fishing
about
pier.
15 minutes in anyway, so they're just going to catch us at the beginning now. They got to sit through the whole thing.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, now that we're actually up and rolling here,
Yeah.
let me see. You know, Kevin, you can be on camera too.
Wow, look how big my face is.
Nah, it's the camera's just too close, man.
Get my skinny side.
Look, if I get close, my face looks big too. It's good.
I don't have one now, so
The phone.
skinny side.
Oh,
We're trying to get her off the road here. We're going down to Buffalo Avenue in Niagara Falls.
Nah, you guys are all good. It's all good. I know. It's just being a real pain in the ass. I get it.
oh, that's, I think, an understatement.
Yeah. No, I was like, please don't give up on us.
Oh, I wouldn't give up. I don't give up that easy.
We have a conflict. She has bad karma, I got good karma, so they're always fighting amongst each other.
Yeah. I carry the bad karma of our family, so.
Oh.
What's up, Leo?
Hey, everybody. Sorry
What's up,
for the
everybody?
delay.
We finally got it up and working, so. It took a minute. Thanks, Zuck.
We're almost there. We're only a couple blocks away from where we're going to park.
No, you guys are perfectly fine. Hey, look, I mean, we're getting situated now. We finally got visuals, so we're good. Take your time. I'm sure everybody will wait.
Yep.
Already speeding. So.
Right here. Not this one. Not this one.
Do that to me.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh my God.
That was it. Just turn out right here. Just turn around.
There's a whole car behind me. Hold on.
Spot up that thing. Turn around.
What thing?
This parking lot in
I
here.
was going to do that, but you're pointing to the right.
Turn around in there. What the hell's he doing?
Well, he's looking under his undercarriage with his whole undercarriage in.
I feel like we should be like singing karaoke on this road trip.
Oh, wow. Oh, well, I should probably not drive like a lunatic. There's a cop coming down the road. Oh, Mr. Too bad that wasn't Greg. I could have said hi.
Hey, Greg.
He's a local cop.
I
Kind of
get ya.
pays to know the cops around here.
Nope, I get you. I live in a small town, too.
Let's not miss the...
No, I do.
I gotta go that way since Fisherman's Pier. Then you go straight back.
I grew up in a small town, so I get that. This one's a little bigger than what I'm used to.
See, I grew up in Southwest Detroit, so I grew up in the big city. I grew up in the hood. Um, you could see the Ambassador Bridge and Renaissance Center in Canada from my house.
Oh, nice. Cool. We can see a whole different part of Canada here in a few minutes when we get there.
Yeah, I've actually had the pleasure of visiting both sides of Niagara Falls.
Oh, nice.
Granted, it was probably 20 something plus years ago, but I
I mean,
did
it
get to
really
see it
hasn't
every so
changed
often.
much.
Probably
Hotels.
just more expensive.
That too.
Yeah, a bit more run down. Oh,
Park anywhere right there.
wasn't gonna park in the water.
Stop before you get to the water.
Yeah, don't park in the water. Then it's going to turn into a different kind of interview, and we don't want that.
I mean, it'd be one hell of a view.
Push the view to somewhere.
Probably go viral.
Oh, I'm sure. So this is what we're
Wow,
looking at now.
that's gorgeous.
Falls is that way.
Yeah, you can kind of see Canada. Those little buildings over there.
Yeah.
Ow. All
See,
right.
I don't live off the river anymore. I live off of Walled Lake now. So I got a lake that's about maybe half mile, 3/4 mile down the road.
Oh, nice. Not bad. Well, now that we're situated,
Yeah. We can get
so
this party started.
I can't see you. I don't know how to fix that.
I can see both. I can see you.
Oops.
Yeah, we're just looking at each other.
Oh no.
Her screen is it?
That's so strange.
I'll start bringing up on mine.
I'm telling you, Facebook's been acting wild.
It's just nuts. Yeah, we might have to pull up two different things here.
We can hear him.
Yeah, we can hear you, obviously, but
But it's going to be delay.
That's okay. We'll just act like we're in some like Niagara Falls newscast. Like, how's the weather up over there?
I'm okay with that.
oh,
It's going to be a delay. It was earlier.
watch you later. All right, so now that we can actually get this whole thing going, what got you into all this paranormal stuff where you started investigating and stuff?
So I had a lot of paranormal experiences when I was a kid. I had a shadow figure that used to watch over me all the time when I was really, really young, and it used to terrify me, to be honest. And then, you know, the older I got, the less scared I became, and the more curious I became about all of everything that was going on. And you know, an opportunity came up that was very rare in Detroit, where we had the opportunity to investigate Fort Wayne, historic Fort Wayne, which is right off the Detroit River. It's one of the forts that the American forces used to fight off the British from Canada. So it's an old fort. There's not a lot of it standing, and they did a public ghost hunt there. My mom happened to actually see it. She knew my dad, me, and my sister were all into paranormal, and she kind of brought it up. And she was like, "Hey, you want to go?" And my dad was like, "Well, yeah, but who am I going to take?" And I was like, "Hell, I'll go with you." So my mom bought the tickets, and that's how Southwest Detroit Paranormal was born, and that's where we started.
Nice. So forgive me. I don't really know a whole heck of a lot about you. I've watched, things here and there. Are you like sensitive at all, or do you just use tools for like investigations and stuff?
I'm empath and sensitive, but I don't claim to be medium or anything like that. I can just feel energy shifts and things like that. I can feel different emotions. I can feel people's energies change. So I'm more of an empath and a sensitive that way than anything. But I don't claim to be a medium or anything like that. I do use just my sensitive feelings and my equipment. Um, I have a couple degrees in criminal justice, so I approach it as a very detective sort of approach when I do my investigations. So I rely heavily on my investigative instincts to do my investigations.
Awesome. Yeah, I
Very
kind of
cool.
got a couple questions. Do you got one?
What's the Third Amendment?
Oh,
Oh, off the top of my head. Oh, Third Amendment, Third Amendment. Damn it. The bad thing is I have the amendments like right next to me.
don't feel bad. He used to quiz me all the time. I
Yeah,
also have a criminal justice degree.
yeah. Oh, what is it? It's not geez.
Everybody knows the first, the second, the fourth, the fifth,
Yeah,
most of
third
the
is
sixth. The third
because
one's a
fourth
tough
is
one.
no quartering.
No, that's a third.
Is it a third? Third is no quartering?
Yeah.
Ah,
Fourth is no
okay.
legal searches and seizures.
There you go. Yeah,
Yeah,
fourth is search
you
and
got it.
seizure, three
You
is
got it.
quartering. That's right.
Yep, you got it.
And I played the fifth, so.
It's just a quick test. I like to, test people on that
I
real
got
quick.
you. It took a second, but I got there.
Yep, you got it.
You were
You got
probably
it.
the first one that I know of that got it right off the rip, so that's pretty cool.
It's been a while since I've been in class.
Yeah, I hear you.
Same.
No, as far as your shadow figure you were talking about, did you get any more kind of information from that at all? Like, was it a family member? Is there a backstory, or does it still follow you?
Um, I don't have an attachment still. I don't think it's the same one. I don't know the backstory. It's an old house. Like I said, it's in Southwest Detroit. It was one of the original houses that was built on farmland before it became city. It's a like an old 2.5 story brick house that was built in the late 1800s. So there's a lot of history there. I don't know a lot of the backstory. My mom refuses to allow me to investigate her house, so she won't let me try to get any answers from it or anything. But no, it's definitely still there. I still have experiences when I go visit. Other people have experiences. My mom and dad still have experiences, but she always says it's never bothered me. You're not investigating. I don't know what it. I don't want to know what it is.
Okay. Was it male or female or?
It was. It's if I had to guess off the shadow figure, it looked more of a male figure. I mean, just it. No long hair or anything like that. Now I have seen an apparition at my mom's house. Um, I don't know if it's the same figure that was the shadow figure, but I did see an apparition, and that was solid. That was a solid apparition.
That's cool.
The shadow figure, did it have like a top hat by chance? Like a
No,
old
no,
hat almost?
no
No?
top hat.
Yeah. You said you have seen full apparitions in color and clothing and hair and
I have. I
very
have
cool.
twice.
Very cool.
Both
Was
at
it
my
was
mom's
it
house.
was it dated in time? Was it
No,
like
I was younger still. And it's funny because when I told my mom about it the first time, I was standing the way my mom and dad's house was set up. There was a front room, and then there was a dining room next to it, and then you could kind of see kitty corner from the dining room into the hallway. And I was standing there, just kind of looking at the computer, and I seen somebody walk past, blue jeans, white t-shirt, curly blonde hair, walked right out the front door. I thought it was my mom. I went to go ask her, hey, where you going? And I said, hey, mom. And she was behind me. There was nobody in front of me. So, and then another time it was me and my daughter. We both seen it. We were coming down the stairways, down the long hallway, which is, it's a long, narrow hallway into the kitchen and out the back door. And at the time, I was married to my ex-wife, and I was gonna ask her something, and I seen her walk out the door, blue jeans, curly blonde hair, white t-shirt, walked right out the back door. I followed behind her. My daughter followed behind me, And when we got out there, there was nobody there. I just looked at my daughter and I'm like, "You've seen that too, right?" And she's like, "Yeah." So I was like, "Hey, you know," and I called her name. I'm like, "Hey, where'd you go?" And she was in the house. So those were my two crazy apparition experiences that I've seen.
That's actually really neat.
Wait,
Go ahead.
your mom's hiding something from you. Your
You
mom knows a
know,
lot more than
when I
she
told
doesn't
her
want you.
about it, she told me because my mom has lived in that house since she was a kid. So it's been a family owned house for a very long time. She told me she's seen the same blue jeans, dirty blonde hair, white t shirt standing next to her brother's motorcycle when she was a kid and lived there.
Oh, wow.
So when I told her about it, she was like, "So sit down. I got to tell you something."
That's actually really neat that you've all kind of seen it,
Yeah.
you know, through
So
the generations and stuff. That's really cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
I had that happen though. I thought my little sister was running through the kitchen and I said, "Where are you going?" And she was like, "What?" I was, oh, okay.
yeah,
Wasn't you?
it's freaky, man. It's weird when you're looking at them clear as day and you're just watching them and you're like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And then they answer from a whole different direction.
Was there any sound to it? Can you hear like footsteps or the door opening, anything
I
like that?
watched the door open.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
shoot.
I watched her walk out the back door.
She didn't walk through it then.
Nope, walked right out the back door.
Wow.
And there was no updates or anything to the house, so it's all been the same layout.
We've done a ton of remodeling in that house.
Oh, okay. So you don't think it's residual?
Um, I think there's some residual stuff, but I think there's some intelligent, um, because we've heard the same thing at certain points. So I believe there's some residual energy that does happen there. For instance, we heard what sounded like a bowling ball fall down the steps, and everybody was in bed. I went and checked, and there was nobody, and everybody heard it that was awake upstairs.
Oh,
um, but yeah, I mean, there's been crazy experiences, and my dad didn't believe us until he heard it himself. He was like, "Hey, you know, I heard something fall down the steps," and I'm like, "Yeah, see, told you." Um, but yeah, I think there's some residual stuff there, but I think there's more than that, to be honest.
that makes sense.
But she won't let me. She won't let me touch the house.
I mean, I was the same way for a long time.
Do you feel like you could capture that on film though? Some like
Oh,
if it were to occur again, you could use your phone or
oh yeah, I would love to
camera.
get in there and just sit for a week and rig that whole place up because I'm sure I would catch at least some sounds.
I hear you. I hear you. That's my intention. I'm hoping Tiffany is able to see apparitions and then I can capture them on film. Um,
Yeah, and as much as I've been through, I'm still a skeptic because I don't have that concrete evidence that I can show you.
yeah.
No.
Oh, we
Yeah.
believe you. We believe you, no doubt. You know, you saw what you saw, and
Yeah,
that's 100% truth in your mind. Nobody's going to tell you different. So,
yeah, and that's I have no reason to sit up here and tell stories. I am 100% fully convinced. And when I even looked at my daughter and I said, "You've seen that, right?" And she was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, I'm not crazy." So yeah, it was a wild. That one was wild. That's the first time I've seen something with somebody else, and I was like, right, like, but
and
yeah,
you
that was fun.
you've done the history on the house. There's no missing children. There's no mysterious deaths. There's nothing like that.
You
There's
know,
no.
I have not done the history on the house just because if I do the history on the house, I know I'm gonna want to get in there more and more. And the more I dig deep into it, the more I'm gonna want to know, and the less she's gonna want to let me dig into it. So I figure it's better just to leave her house alone, and for as long as it's in the family.
I hear you. I hear you. Oh, that's cool.
But I
That's
do
cool.
my own house.
Oh, your house now is haunted too?
I don't think my house now is haunted. I know I have an attachment. My wife has an attachment. They play well together, so it's not a big deal. But you know, I've had things happen here. It doesn't bother me. It's nothing terrible. But in previous houses, I've lived in some very, very haunted houses, and I've done investigations in my own houses.
That's cool. And yeah, paranormal girls, I do agree with that. When two people see the same thing, it's definitely reassuring.
Yeah, that was wild, and my daughter was still staying here and attest to it too. It's
So you had two different ghosts, and they interact with each other.
yeah, I believe we have two different attachments.
That you brought home from haunted locations?
I think mine has been with me far longer than I've been investigating. I think it's been a
Okay.
lifelong attachment that I've had.
Okay.
I think it's. I know this is going to sound crazy, guys, but I think it's the Shadow Man that I had when I was a kid. I don't think it's the Shadow Man. However, I think it's somebody who the Shadow Man was like, "All right, it's your turn to take over." You know what I mean? So I think it's friendly, and I think it's somebody who's relative or fairly close to me who's helping me, you know, just make good choices and you know keeping me alive when I don't.
So like a guardian angel.
Yeah,
Hmm. Do you believe that the Shadow Man at the time, do you think, now looking back at it, do you think you could maybe supplied it with more energy? That it would have been more, took the shadow part away and gave it color?
oh, 100%. I believe I most likely did give it enough energy to manifest. I was just too scared to look. Um,
Okay.
Once I would see the shadow manifest, it would kind of just look into my room. It would peek its head into my room, and I would get terrified, cover my head up with the blankets, turn towards the wall, and sleep. I literally slept with the head over my blankets with a hole like this big in the so I could breathe. Um, but yeah, I definitely my fear. I know it manifested, but now looking back, I think it was something more or less that was looking over me. You know, it never
Mhm.
did anything to harm me.
I agree, Melissa.
The first 10 times, though, you were scared. You were hoping it wouldn't do nothing.
Yeah, I was terrified. I mean, I was only like 6 or 7 when I first really started experiencing it. So I was pretty terrified.
Yeah, I would imagine.
And
So we
now
kind
I'm
of,
just, I'm
oh,
sorry, go
go
ahead.
ahead. Nope,
Oh,
go on.
now I'm just like dark basement. Let's go.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah,
like basements. Yeah,
we're getting better with them.
yeah,
I love
yeah.
basements. I live in basements.
We did, and then
Yeah, we were okay with it till our adventure with the shadow person, and it
Yeah.
kind of put the fear in you a little bit. We're okay
Yeah.
now, though. It took a while.
You
It took
know,
a while.
but that's what we do it for. That's what we're looking for. You
yep.
know, when we go out there, that's exactly what we're hoping to see.
Yeah.
Now, it scares the hell out of you when you see it, but that's what you're
Yeah.
hoping to see.
Oh yeah.
There's different degrees of fear,
Oh,
and you know,
100%.
absolutely, where you know you could be scared, but we our situation, we're pretty brave. Nobody ran. We just became more fearful of it, though. But it never hurt any of us. So the longer we were there, the longer we kind of relaxed a little bit. And like a year later, we tried to recreate the event, and it didn't happen. But
Yeah.
we tried, the same 5 people. It was quite the adventure. We believe it's still there. We just don't know how to make it come back out again.
Yeah.
And trust us the first time. We want it to trust us again, and then somehow feed it energy for it to show itself to us.
You remember like those old school static electricity balls that you could put your hands on and it makes your hair stand up?
Yep,
Get
yep.
a couple of those. It emits static electricity into the air.
Yeah, we had an EM pump that we believe fed it
Yeah.
instead of
I,
like it absorbing all the batteries. We were trying to feed it energy.
yeah. 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 EMF EM pump, those are nice. Those are definitely nice.
Hmm. Now
But
we're open to anything. You know, we really thought we were going to recreate it. We were kind of bummed, of course, but I think a tiny bit of us were kind of relieved that we
yeah.
weren't going to provoke it, and it's going to do something vengeful.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I know. Like I said, I'm kind of the skeptic, so I'm looking for ways to debunk every single thing that I experience. Even with we were at Ashmore Estates last Sunday, and we had some things that happened, and I was immediately able to say, "All right, let's step back, look. All right, now let me pan it. All right, now I see your shadow. See your shadow. It looks like it's running across. It's nothing paranormal." So all in all, when it was all said and done from Ashmore Estates, I didn't have anything like paranormal experience or anything like that that I can just say I had a personal experience. Now I still have to go back and review all my footage and stuff like that. The Estes method, I will tell you, was very, very interesting in parts, but in terms of having a personal experience, I didn't have any. And a lot of my investigations happen that way because I take a very, you know, like detective type approach to how I investigate.
I hear you. That's
So,
very cool.
what's the most haunted location that you've been to? Like, is there a
Eloise,
place that really stands
Eloise,
out?
hands down. Eloise, hands down. That place is nuts. Um, I'll tell you a sneakingly surprising haunted place was the Hair Foundation. It's a small hair salon in Northville, Michigan, and it's like one of the original buildings that was built in downtown Northville. It was used for a multitude of things, a brothel, a holding cell, drunk tank, a couple, multiple things that caught on fire at one point. Still has some of the original charred beams in the basement. So it's got a lot of history there. And the Hair Foundation, I'll tell you, that place was sneaky. It's very sneakily haunted. I caught some real cool shit there that I didn't expect to really catch much in that place, but I got more than I bargained for. Overall, though, Eloise probably the most haunted.
Is there any place like say not just us, but not other paranormal investigators, like somebody that's skeptic? Do you believe that you could take them to one of these places and you could make them a believer?
Oh, Eloise, hands down. Within the 10 minutes, first 10 minutes of us investigating there, I had a blood curdling scream that nobody can explain, and
Yeah,
it's
that'll
all
do
on
it.
video. It's all on tape. It's all over. It's on my page. It's on our website. I can't. I still to this day can't explain it.
I mean, I'm sure that was scary, but that's actually really cool.
Yeah, it was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. Like if you go back and I crack jokes with my co-lead investigator for Potter Paranormal, Jerry, because when that happened, I had a body cam on and I turned to him and his face just drops immediately. And the first words out of his mouth was, "You should probably radio your people." You just the fear, like the it was just like, what the hell was that look on his face? Called down. Nobody heard it from 2 and 1. We all heard it from floors 3, 4, and 5. Nobody screamed. We went down. I checked with security. He checked the perimeter. There was nobody in the facility. And I have all that on footage, like all of that interaction.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I try to be as authentic as possible when I do these.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, I don't try to do a lot of clickbait. If I find something cool, if I don't, I'll tell you, hey, it was quiet, you know.
What's crazy is a lot of these paranormal groups, including ourselves, we have like undeniable evidence that we just didn't capture on video or audio, and it's just more of a personal thing.
Yeah. Oh,
And
100%.
and it's hard to explain to a non-believer what we experienced because then it's like, oh, you're full of shit.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah.
most the generation now they need evidence, and it's hard to capture evidence. That one ghost picture, it's so hard to do. But
Yeah. And then I've had this happen on several locations. The Hair Foundation, I heard some of the loudest footsteps I've ever heard in my entire life. I mean, they were crystal clear cut footprints, and there was about 5 or 6 of them. I to the point where I got on the radio and I said, "Hey, did somebody come in to go to the bathroom or something? Like, who's upstairs?" because we're downstairs trying to investigate, and all we can hear is them walking around. And they're like, "There's nobody up here," and I'm like, "You're bullshitting, right?" Like, all right, like, okay, fun and games, haha, that's funny. Like, we're trying to investigate. Like, you're bullshitting. Who's upstairs? And they're like, nobody. I went upstairs. I checked. There was nobody up there. I had every inch of that place covered with cameras, just like recorders, everything. Almost more than half of my camera files were corrupted. The other half of those didn't have sound. And then my recorder, it was data corrupt file. Like, none of that's ever happened to me before. So I've searched every bit of evidence that I have to find these footsteps that I know I heard. I know the owner heard, the owner's daughter. I know we all heard it. But I have so much corrupt files on my data that I can't find it.
Do you think maybe the entity stole the energy from your equipment and was able to create the noise? Because this sounds like a lot of energy when you hear footsteps like that. You know, left, right, left, right, left, right, and they're like boots. That's a
Oh, they're
lot of
heavy.
energy. Yeah, that's a lot of energy to use.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never had it wipe out all my cameras like that. I had over half of my files that were corrupted files. They would start to play, and then it would kick that corrupt file, and done. It's gone.
Wow.
Very cool.
I actually had a videographer there with me on an investigation as well, and he put a recorder down in the basement and recorded. I think he said it was 8 hours and 4 minutes, and he took it home. He decided, when he got home, he just put it in his stuff or whatever. The next day, he went to go listen to some of it. He had 2 identical recordings for 8 hours and 4 minutes. The first 8 hours and 4 minutes were of the investigation. The second 8 hour and 4 minutes were of him in his house with his wife. He never started that recorder again, and they were identical amount of time.
Wow.
He called me freaked out. Like, we still to this day cannot explain how that recorder recorded in his house for the exact amount of time that he recorded at the investigation. And this is all professional equipment. He was a professional videographer.
That's strange. Very strange.
Well, I
Yeah,
guess
he
that
called me all freaked out.
It's almost like somebody followed them home and then pushed the record button just to show them.
Yeah, I asked him on another
Stopped it.
investigation after that, and he respectfully declined.
Yeah, I can see why. Yeah. I had a buddy of mine. He was a paranormal investigator too, and something followed him home. And I was talking to him at like 3 o'clock in the morning and everything, and he quit. He completely quit being an investigator. And he hasn't been on another one since.
Oh,
He got,
yeah.
he
I
got
know
clean.
people who have been on investigations and had that one real bad experience, and they're done.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, we're leery of it. It hasn't happened, of course, yet. It's close. Tiffany had a pretty scary incident, and it's been close so far. But you know,
Yeah. And see, I'm a very show me kind of guy. Like, I watch all the investigative shows and all the paranormal shows, and
yep, yep.
not to call anybody out or anything, but we'll call them backzaggins. Um,
Mm.
he gets possessed in every show, and
Yep,
there's
yep,
always
yep.
some dark entity, and it's not like that. Like, I have been to some of the most haunted places in Michigan and across the country, and I've never ever experienced anything like that. Like, I'm show me, you know. I don't believe that until it happens to me, kind of.
That's the Hollywood paranormal, though. That's the one.
Yeah,
it gives a lot of misconception to people and instills fear in them for absolutely no reason.
100%. Yeah, I agree with you, and that's what I think. I think it's a misconception where they really just, most people are afraid of the dark because of what Hollywood is portrayed to be in the dark.
100%. I mean, there are scary things in the dark. But
There definitely can be. Yes, I agree.
Let me ask this question. What part of our name being fourth dimension? Um, I firmly believe that, the other side is it lingers outside the third dimension from what we can see. The fourth dimension like lingers on the outside, and there's special tools and special people with abilities that can see in it. Um, it's a tough question, of course. It's like, how do we break on through the Doors song to be able to viably collect evidence from the fourth dimension? What would you suggest? Like, what's your favorite ghost tools? I guess.
My favorite ghost tools, to be honest with you, I can take mountains of equipment and end up using just my body cam, my handheld DV recorder, and my just handheld digital recorder. My digital recorder and my DV handheld camera, those are probably, and my body camera, probably my favorite tools. And it's just because it don't lie. They're with electronic equipment, with the EMF detectors and the K2s and things like that. They're cool. They're
Yeah.
cool. But they're faulty to a point, and
Mm-hmm.
you could be getting absolutely nothing, and you're interpreting it as something because it just so happens to correspond with what you're doing. So I like things that I can listen to and see and say that shit was wild.
One
Um,
of my favorite ghost tools is actually the body. When you get goosebumps, when the
yep.
hair goes on the back of your neck, you can't buy equipment like that, no matter what what store you go to. The
Oh
actual
no.
physical feeling the energy for the first time, and I have to me, I have this ghost radar, and once that goes off, I feel energy around me, and that you can't buy that at a store.
Oh no.
So
See, anytime I go and do an investigation, I leave all my equipment at base camp and I do a complete walkthrough first, just to get the energy feel of the place. And then the second step I do is always do an EMF sweep, just to make sure that there's not a ton of high EMFs and people are just experiencing, hallucinations and nausea and things from, electromagnetic fields that are pumping throughout the area. So those are, I will say, my EMF detector is probably one of my favorite tools because I always do a sweep. I've been on investigations where people have had experiences, and then I go in there and I'm like, dude, you need to get your electrical checked. Like, you're living in an electromagnetic field. That's why you're probably sick and seeing things. But I think, yeah, I mean, the body is a great tool because, like, I'm a sensitive, so I can feel the energy shift. I just think one of the biggest things that we need to do is forget everything we've learned. um, I'm a firm believer that a lot of children see. We still hear about the imaginary friend, but I don't know if it's necessarily an imaginary friend, rather than the fact that children haven't been taught the obstructs of what they're supposed to see and what's supposed to be real or not, to where their mind is still open and they're able to see beyond what we're able to see, what we're capable of seeing. And I think once you start growing up and you go through this indoctrination phase of, traditional education and all these other things, grow up, be an adult, you lose that sense of imagination and that creativity side of you, and you forget that there's another world beyond what we're looking at, and then we just lose focus of it. So I think the biggest thing that we need to do is just forget what we've learned.
Yeah, absolutely. That's probably the best way I've ever heard it put.
yeah, got to go in with an open mind. That's for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think it's you have to be willing, the willingness to be open to it. And it's the crazy thing is I do a lot of research and like I said, a couple degrees in criminal justice. I like to do rabbit hole research, looking into what the CIA, on declassified files that have been released and things like that. There are a lot of files on astral projection and and psychic abilities and things like that that have been studied for years through the CIA and have been proven to exist. So, there is definitely something else out there that we just they've dumbed us down to it to a point where we don't know how to tap into it anymore.
I agree with that. So do you believe that everybody has the ability to have like a psychic ability or intuition type?
Yes, I believe everybody does. I believe everybody's born with it and has the ability. Um, not to make it in a like in a sense like this, um, but I don't want to use the term wokeness because I hate that term for so many reasons. But um, you have to have the willingness to break away from the constraints of what society has taught you, and not a lot of people not a lot of people will do that due to fear. One, fear that they'll be objectified or judged, or two, they're comfortable living in the society that they're living in, and they don't have to think about the outside world. So I think I don't think it's a lack of having it, it's the lack of willingness to use it or want to use it.
Fair.
That's cool.
So I have at least two more questions for you. If
Hey,
you're,
I ain't got nothing but time. Fire away. I told you we're good. We're all settled now. You didn't think you was getting a smart guy, did you?
that is not even close to the case. Now I lost my question. Oh my goodness, it was on the tip of my tongue. So I guess I'll go backwards and do the second one first. What's the most bizarre story you've got as far as like a paranormal activity?
Um, I think the most bizarre that I have, it was probably the one that jump scared me because anybody who knows me, I'm not easily jump scared. I'm a pretty stone faced kind of guy. I like to joke and make jokes, but I don't. I'm not scared easy. We were on the USS Hudson in Bay City, Michigan. It's an old warship that served in Vietnam. It was actually struck in Vietnam. They thought they'd sunk it. However, they did not. And then it was dubbed the Great Ghost because it went back to Nam and then destroyed a whole nother fleet. So this ship was badass and they thought they sunk it, but they didn't. So I was there on an investigation and I was walking through the whole of the ship. We were able to stay the entire night on the ship. And I was walking through the whole of the ship and walking through the locker room. And if you guys know anything about, if you've ever been on a Navy ship or anything like that, everything in there is metal. Everything is metal. Um, so I was walking through the lockers and something slammed the locker like literally right next to my head because the aisle is, I mean, they're only this big on a ship. And something slapped that locker so hard next to my head. I still get it today to this day because all you hear on the tape is what the f was that? But I think that was one of the craziest, except just due to the fact that it was so close to my head and it was so loud that it really, really wanted me to know that it was real close to me, I think.
Right.
Yep. It's a lot of energy when you're moving something in this dimension and they're in the other dimension. It takes a great amount of energy and a great amount of force to do that.
Yes.
Well, it's setting up its boundary. That was definitely was its locker, and it didn't want you to see inside it.
Yeah, it
Even
was.
though there's
That's
nothing
one
in
of
it,
the
there's
times that
something.
really I was like, all right, that was wicked. Let me get out of this room for a second.
That was Earth space and time, and more than likely, a person got killed during the attack or something.
Yeah, yeah, but it was cool. I mean, it's definitely an experience I'm glad I had, and that's like I said, that's what we go there for. Those are what we hope to experience, and if you're hoping to experience nothing less, then you're doing the wrong. You're in the wrong field.
Let me ask this question of you. Like, say you went on 30 investigations. Out of that 30, how many times does nothing happen at all?
25,
There you go.
24.
Good answer. Good answer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
lot less than people think.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, that goes back to the Hollywood version of what people think investigating is that there's always going to be something because it's claimed to be haunted.
They go on an
Right.
hour ghost tour, a candlelight tour, and they're expecting, a full apparition or something.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, it's like fishing. You don't go to the lake expecting to catch all the walleye in the lake, man. Some days you're gonna have a good day, and some days you're gonna have a bad day. You're gonna walk away with a ton of fish, or some days you're gonna walk away with an empty bucket, and that's just how it goes in this field.
As investigators, we got to bring the right bait, though. That's the thing. Is we got to prepare for
Yep,
each and every encounter.
it's almost like a chess match. I mean, you have to know if you really, you
That's
got to
true.
kind of really know what you're getting into. You got to look what you, because if I'm going into a house that's supposed to be a bunch of like a jail cell that was all a bunch of rowdy men, I'm not going to bring dolls and toys. You have to bring the right trigger equipment. You have to bring if a presence is known to not like women, I'm going to bring a woman. We're going to try to get some type of reaction out of that energy that's there. And it really is. It's like a chess game. You have to play the right hand, or it's like fishing. You got to throw the right bait, or you're going to end up with an empty bucket.
Oh, absolutely.
A doll at a jail might be the right thing, though. You're provoking them. I'm not sure if you're the type to. I, for example, when I go on an investigation, we introduce ourselves. We're friendly. I talk to them like I want to be spoken to
Uh-huh.
myself. So I don't try to provoke the spirits. But there's some people out there. Zach was one of those guys where he would
That
he would
guy's
try to
crazy.
provoke it and say the meanest meanest stuff possible. I try not
We
to do that, of course, but
we
if you
don't
bring a
provoke
doll to a
spirits.
jail cell, that might provoke them. That might just send them in a rage. Like, get out of here.
We don't try to provoke spirits. We try to set it up to where, like, if I know I'm going to a location that has a little girl there that is a known apparition, or there's a known uh, they hear a little girl laughing, I'll bring dolls because maybe she
Mhm.
wants to play with them. So I
Yeah.
try to bring things that are appropriate to the investigation. I always
Mhm.
try to approach every investigation with the utmost respect for not only the living but the dead that are there, because a lot
Yep.
of the dead, a lot of them, they don't even know they're dead. They're just living out their
They don't
daily
know.
lives, and
Yep. Yep.
just because they're dead doesn't mean that they don't have the same perpetual habits and characteristics and mannerisms that they did when they're alive. So we have to treat them as they are still living beings and with the utmost respect if we want any type of communication with them.
Yeah. No, the intelligent ones, they're still living. They don't have a physical body no more. They got the
Right,
spiritual body.
right.
So, yep, yep.
Yeah, I agree.
What's your other question?
I got a couple more
It's
now.
going to kick you.
I know
Well,
it
she
is.
done conjured up a couple now.
Yeah, I got a few more now. Um, oh my goodness. What's your favorite place? Like I asked you what your creepiest experience was, but what's your favorite place that you've investigated?
um, man, oof.
It's a place where you'd go back in a heartbeat. Like,
I would definitely go back to Eloise in a heartbeat. I would have to say Eloise. Now I will say Ashmore Estates was absolutely awesome. Activity was very low for me though. It was very, very quiet. Like I said, I didn't have anything personal. Eloise, I had all kinds of shit happen. I would go back there in a heartbeat.
Are there places that you've already investigated more than one time and realized that maybe the second time you had more activity?
The Hair Foundation. The Hair Foundation I investigated twice and I definitely had more activity the second time around. Um, I'm actually trying to get in there for a third time because every time I go, I get more. And I'm really upset that half of my files were corrupted. So I want to get in there again with more equipment and updated equipment. So I'm hoping for a trifecta on that one. Um, but I think that's the only one I've done multiple investigations of.
my question would be, like, Being a paranormal investigator, I've always been the brave one where I go down and sit in the basement by myself and pitch black.
Hmm.
Um, there'll be a situation where something happens to one person and then they evacuate everybody out of the room and I'm like, get out of the way, I'm going in there. And they're like, don't go in there, don't go in there. And I'm the one that went in there. But a situation has arose where, I'm not as brave as I thought I used to be. So my question for you, is there one single moment in time that you felt like you had to get out of the place? I'm not going to say like, um, I'm gonna say it nicely. What made you tinkle as a tough guy to another tough guy? But
Yeah.
there's maybe one moment in time that like you're like, oh shit, your oh shit moment.
Um, I think I'm still waiting for that moment. I think the closest that had probably would come to that was I was at there's a place called Robinson Manor. It's in Allegan, Michigan. It's up toward northern Michigan, and they had an old boiler room, and I decided they're like the old brick boiler room. It was all broke down and stuff to where you could actually climb in and be almost enclosed by it. And I went down in there and I decided, okay, I'm gonna be a tough guy. I get into the brick part of the enclosure and I immediately the air starts getting heavy. I start just feeling like I can't breathe and I'm like, you guys got to get me out of here. I actually went out. That was probably the only time I left a vicinity due to any symptoms like that. I've never
Physically, yeah.
ever been like that, but I actually went out and sat out for about 20, 25 minutes. I didn't go in that room for about a good couple hours. Um, I forced myself back into it later, but that was probably the one time I felt a little bit uneasy anywhere.
Okay, good answer. Good answer.
So kind of going back to I guess the salon would be the proper way to describe that. Do you think that the spirits remembered you and that's why you had increased activity?
I think there was some remembrance there because the way that investigation started off the second time, it started off with me saying, "Hey, I've been here before. I came back to visit you." And I mean, I was going through that whole kind of open monologue, and then them footsteps just started hitting, and I'm like, "Okay, that's the loudest footsteps I've ever heard." But I definitely think there's something there that's not residual that did have a remembrance for me, and I'd like to go back and see if I can get it again.
Very cool. Very cool.
And then my other question that slipped my mind before was Kevin and I both have experience more so separately than we do as a team.
Mm-hmm.
But what would be something that you would give like a beginner crew? Like there's a couple pages and things that are kind of starting off and all that, but what's the best piece of advice you would give a new team or even a new investigator in general?
Believe your body. Not everything is paranormal.
Nice.
Always look for a logical reason,
Mm-hmm.
and always do an EMF sweep before you start an investigation for a baseline.
Pretty much what we do and have done, so that's good.
That's
Good
good.
minds, great minds think alike.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
got
I
one more
think
question for myself. I got a good one that we use in our podcast, if you don't mind.
sure.
Can you tell us a ghost story that not inspired you, but that may or may not have happened to you personally? Do you have a ghost story, like, say, from your mom? Your mom's, to me, I feel like your mom's holding out on something. Has she ever, or anybody ever told you a ghost story that's like, it's not too unbelievable, but can you give me a ghost story along those bases of what I'm trying to say? And I'm not
Yeah.
even sure what I'm trying to say, but go ahead, please.
No, I got you. I'll tell you, my grandmother was the absolute best ghost storyteller on the planet. She was absolutely amazing, and I wish I was half as good as her. My dad is also rather good, but I do have one story, and this is a true story. And this is a story that was, it happened in Michigan. I actually got it from a book. It's called Michigan Haunts and Hauntings that I read. And there was this guy, and you know, back when Michigan was a lot of Indian country and things like that, and the English settlers were coming in. There was a lot of bloodshed and war and things of that nature. And there was an Englishman, and an Indian killed his wife or girlfriend, and he swore that he would scalp 100 Indians before he died. Well, this man went on an absolute rampage, and he did. He killed several Indians. He scalped them. He put their heads on a mantle in his cabin, and he got to 99 and disappeared, and nobody could find him. So when they went to his cabin to look for him, they walked in. They seen the 99 Indian heads, and his was the 100th head, just sitting there on the rack. So that's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good tale. That's all folklore tale in Michigan. If there's if you can find that cabin, that's pretty good. Also, the red dwarf. Anytime somebody sees the red dwarf, something bad happens. We did. The last time the red dwarf was seen was back in 2003, when half the nation went without power for 3 days. So that's always a good, interesting story.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are really cool. I'm actually doing research on folklore, so I'll look into those. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, check them out. They're definitely, I like a lot of the Michigan folklore and history. Michigan actually has its own version of like the Loch Ness monster and the Huron Lake. It's the Huron monster.
Oh, that's cool.
And was it Lake Michigan has its own version of like the Bermuda Triangle?
Nice.
Okay.
Never knew any of that. That's really neat.
Very
Yep.
cool.
There's a lot of haunted history here in Michigan. A lot of strange happenings.
Yeah, we are part of the Great Lakes. We have Lake Erie and Lake Ontario right here.
Yep. I did have, like I said, I had the luxury to shoot over. I took Canada side straight through, and then I popped in over into Niagara and Buffalo. It was beautiful over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of interesting haunted locations around here. Yeah, we've only touched the basics so far. There's a lot of them. We want to get into some closed places that we're not willing to break in or nothing like that. But
Yeah, nope, I
we,
get you.
we,
I
we want to
definitely,
get legitimate, and we want to be there at 3 o'clock too for Naval's supposedly the thinnest. So
yeah, the witching hour.
yep.
Yeah.
So
No, I'm all about it, and I've gotten to the point now where I'm expanding and going investigating cross state lines. I just got back from Illinois. I'll be heading to Ohio in August and October. So I got some cool stuff going on.
Yeah, we actually started kind of doing the similar thing. We went to Ohio last year. We're going to Pennsylvania at the end of August.
Awesome.
So,
You going to
yeah.
Penhurst?
Oh, we're actually going to go to Gettysburg. I've never been there.
I'll tell you, I have friends that go to Gettysburg quite often, and they absolutely love it. There's so many different buildings you can investigate. You can get something different every time you go.
Yeah, we're going to be there for like 2.5, we'll say, days or so. So we'll have plenty of time to hopefully investigate some things and,
That's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I'm
like,
planning on getting down there next year with a couple of other groups as well.
nice. Yeah, I see you do a lot of collaboration. That's really neat. I think that would be something that would be cool to do.
Yeah, I just try to build the paranormal community amongst ourselves, because I know how stressful it can be when you're in this world and everybody's looking at you like you're crazy sometimes. So I
Yep.
really just try to do everything that I can to help build the paranormal community and be just as accepting as possible and give everybody a fair chance. One thing that we do preach is absolutely no bullying. We don't tolerate it. So, if you do start acting a fool, hey, you got to go. You can't be part of this community or this group. But best of luck to you. But we've got a nice tight knit group of, I'd say, probably 35, 40 groups now that are expanding across the country that we all work together very, very regularly at this point.
That's awesome.
Cool. Very cool. I was telling our last guest that like, you guys are our type of weirdos in a good way. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, we
yeah,
are those weirdos.
yeah, absolutely.
You gotta embrace it.
Yeah. And when you find somebody else into the paranormal, like your eyes just get big, and oh, you're one of those people too.
Yeah, yep. You're
You
like,
become
you're my
instant friends.
people. You're one of my weirdos.
Yeah, instant friends. So
Yep. I tell people all the time, like when I go to like Paracons or we have um Frankenfest here in Michigan, or if I go to like concerts, like metal concerts, I have severe social anxiety and I have a lot of like anxiety issues. But when I'm around those groups, I feel home. If I'm around other groups, like
very
I
nice.
get anxious, I want to go home. But put me around a bunch of weirdos like me, I love it.
Very much the same.
We're a special breed. We really are.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
true.
true.
Very true.
But probably one of the best breeds out there.
I'll tell you what, this community is one of the best communities I've ever come across, and just to see how everybody collaborates and boosts each other up and shares each other's stuff, and gets on everybody's podcasts and watches each other. The community is absolutely outstanding, and we're happy to have you guys part of it too. So, it's
Thank you.
exciting. It's an exciting time to grow for all of us.
Yeah, yeah, we're learning all the time. We appreciate you taking the time and speaking with us, and you're very knowledgeable. I do definitely appreciate your information that you shared with us, and you've been on some pretty cool adventures that hopefully here in New York State we could repeat it. I guess.
Well,
Yeah,
hey, I'd love to get up there with you guys and maybe hit something one time. It's just, quick little shot through Canada.
yeah,
That
I'm
would
in
be
Detroit,
awesome.
so right across the border.
yeah. They have some haunted locations over in Niagara Falls, Ontario side too that we
Yeah,
kind of ventured over to.
yeah. We got a
Yep.
couple of Ontario groups in our little nest here, and they got quite a few cool little locations over there. So
That's cool.
I mean, we could always go over your way too. We're always looking for new places to go. Like we,
listen, you ever come over to Michigan, you let me know ahead of time, and I will find you guys some places to go.
That's only 5 hours away. I used to drive truck, and I used to go from Tonawanda to Romulus for about a year, and then
Yep,
another year I went to Port Huron at a drop
yep.
yard. So
So
yeah,
I
I know it
used
all
to.
from Michigan.
I was born and raised in Southwest Detroit, and I live in Walled Lake now. So I'm about 35 minutes outside of Detroit, and yeah, it's only about 5 hours. Hell, I just drove 6 hours to Ashmore.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
So if you're ever in Michigan, please do look me up. We'll hit something. I got so much stuff out here that I'd love to take you guys out to.
oh, absolutely, we can collaborate that anytime. We're itching now, but we're always itching for new places.
Well, aside from this podcast, we will collaborate on some stuff, and we will set up some stuff for you guys to come out this way, and we'll get
That
you all hooked up.
that
Okay.
would be
Very
awesome.
cool.
Thank you for this. And I mean, like you kind of mentioned, the community's been awesome. We're really new to the whole paranormal community part of it. We just kind of started branching out and I guess embracing our weirdness. So you
I
guys have been more than welcoming and just absolutely amazing as a whole.
I think we all kind of hit that level at a different age. It took me to about 35, 36 to really embrace being weird. And now that I'm 40, I'm just full blown off the rails.
Well, I'm 32, so I mean, I get that. It took me a little while myself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've always been weird. It's just a matter of now I'm coming out of my shell now. I've been pretty
Exactly.
private. Now I'm
Now I'm
starting
just
to
showing it.
now.
Now
Yeah,
I'm embracing the
yeah,
weird.
yeah, I'm proud of it now. So
100%. I feel more like me now than I have ever felt like me. So, um, I'm happy. As long as I'm happy, I'll embrace the weird.
And that's how it should be. And I feel like everybody should live authentically like that. So that's really awesome.
I agree. I agree. I think everybody should do, as long as it's not infringing on somebody else's life, do whatever
yeah,
makes you
don't bully.
happy and just enjoy
Yeah,
life to the fullest.
Yep, absolutely.
absolutely. Do you have any questions for us or anything?
Um, when are we going to get this collaboration started?
The sooner
um,
the better, in my opinion.
no, I think you guys, man, I really appreciate you guys having me on. I'm sorry it was so chaotic to start Facebook. Thanks, Zuck. You're amazing. Um, but
It
no,
ended well though.
you guys
But
are amazing. I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys. Please do keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing these podcasts. Keep helping promote these groups. Please keep promoting yourself, and we're going to keep building as a community. We're going to get these collaborations done, and I'm just real excited to see what we're all going to do together.
yep, very cool. Very
Awesome.
cool.
Same here. And thank you. Got anything?
Mm. I wish to say thank you very much. Another successful podcast. Um, I appreciate all the information. It's been a pleasure to talk to you for sure.
Absolutely, I enjoyed talking to you. See, I wasn't too hard on you guys. I'm a
You're
pretty
our
laid
type
back
of.
guy. I just like to have a good time.
I'm going to continue. You're our type of weirdo. So thank you.
Yeah, yeah. And my wife said, if you think I'm weird, you should see the one I'm married to.
I just saw the
Yeah,
comment.
yeah. She's my special kind of weirdo.
That's awesome.
But no, I really did. I enjoyed you guys. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, same here. Give me probably a day or two, and then I'll actually have it on the actual podcast link for that I sent. I think I sent you. If not, I'll definitely send it to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And we got the email. We have each
Yep.
other's email, so let's link up and because I have a lot of places out here that we can check out.
Very
Sweet.
cool.
I'll
Very
definitely
cool.
be in touch.
Perfect. Sounds good.
All righty.
Alrighty.
Thank you very much, man.
All right. Well, thanks again, guys. I appreciate you. I had a blast with you, and I can't wait to watch the next one.
All righty.
Thank you. Right back at you.
Deuces.
Yep. Later.
Bye.
See ya.